Hi guys, it's Alston. First, thank you so much for checking out this video. In this video, we are going to take a look into another lifetime deal which is currently available on the market for image optimization service. The name of the SaaS is Imghaste. In this video, I will explain you what it is, and I will be also showing you how you can set it up and to get started using this. And I will be also showing you what kind of results you can expect when you are using this plugin and when you are not using this plugin. And finally, I will be also showing you what kind of benefits and cons you have over using this plugin over using something like ShortPixel or any other optimization service. There are three main things I wanted to talk to you about before I go into the actual video. First, this is not a full review. What I mean by this is because I'm just using this for the last 1 day or so, and I even bought the deal myself. The main reason is because first I have the ShortPixels lifetime deal, which I got it already when it was on Maximo last year, and I have set it up on almost all the main projects which I use, and I stuck it for according to my limit, so I was not worried and I didn't get interested on a new optimization service because I was feeling more than happy with ShortPixel for me. But the reason I created this video was I actually asked you guys whether do you want me to review this product, not a full review, just to find out what I see from here. And because they are offering the trial also with all the premium functionality just with fewer limits, so I asked, and there were couple of members who are actually interested in it more. They told me on Telegram and as well as on Facebook. That is the reason mainly I'm creating this video. So this is not a full review, this is merely a fact which I'm showing you all the findings which I was able to find up to now in my use case of testing this. And also I couldn't do a full comparison with ShortPixel because there are two different technology. There are technologically different problems appearing. We can't directly test it. For example, what I mean by this is, usually when I do any speed comparison or resource allocation comparison, I generally use tools like tools Pingdom or GTmetrix in order to compare the speed grades of the web pages and everything. In this case, even though I can compare it with a service like a ShortPixel, I can't use the service GTmetrix or any other speed checking program script with Imghaste because Imghaste does not use some kind of same technology as ShortPixels. Instead, they use something called service worker technology. I'll explain you this when I talk about more in pros and cons. Basically, what that means is we can't use even if you once you optimize the web page with Imghaste and you directly go into put that URL in something like GTmetrix, it will still show you that images on the web pages are not optimized at all. But the main reason is they actually detect those kind of scripts and everything like a bot traffic. So you won't able to test it using the system. It will show you the optimized version for all the users who are using the website. But when you try to check the image optimization result or any optimization factors using a third-party script like GTmetrix or anything, it won't show you the results there. That is the reason I'm not doing a full comparison between ShortPixels and Imghaste. And finally, I will also leave a link to my affiliate link for this lifetime deal in the video description. If you wanted to support me, you can use that. It does not affect your purchase. But if you want to use a normal link, I also will leave a non-affiliate link on the video description. You can choose whatever the link you want. Okay, now I think I covered almost all the introduction which I wanted to give you guys. Now let's directly jump into the actual video. First, what it is. I'm pretty sure that most of you guys already know this, but I'm just giving you a brief introduction. Where image optimization service, or we usually say it like ImgCDN, what it does is it optimizes all the images in your website in order to, without making any permanent images damages or changes to the images, without doing anything. It automatically saves the best image resolution and also from the closest location CDN to the user. By doing that, it automatically reduces the size of the image and it also improves the speed of the website which it delivers the images. So basically it also reduces the image size. By doing that and also by serving the images from the closest location to the user by using CDN technology, it makes the website load much faster. That is the main reason to use CDN based image optimization service. In this case, also it automatically scales the images according to the way the device resolution and the image stuff, all these background stuffs are there. You can just directly go into the image-based website and you can read about it. There are no big things. The first one is what I just told you about, uses the CDN to give the images to by the closest. Automatic transformation is what I told you about the scaled stuff. SEO I will talk to you about in pros and cons. These are the ones what I told you about service worker, which prevented me from let me zoom this out, sorry about it. This were the service worker which I told you prevented me from doing a full comparison. This is the service worker. Now let me directly jump into the dashboard so I can show you how you can get started using it. This is the dashboard. As you can see that I have already set it up and it's already running, but if you do it, joining it for the first time, you would essentially see a button somewhere. I can't exactly remember where it was. It will say add your website. There you go ahead and put your website URL and click on add website. It would see something like this. Yeah, something like this. Once you added your website, go and scan. It will automatically detect the technology. In this case, I'm using WordPress, so all I need to do is click here. Now you need to go inside your WordPress dashboard. This is a test site. I actually prepared for this specific use case in order to test it. I'll explain you much more when I talk about the test component of the video. Here now, if I go into the plugin, you can see that I have already installed the Imghaste plugin. In order to install this, either you can click on the button here, it will directly take to the plugin page, or if you have some kind of difficulty, just go into add new, and here you just search for Imghaste without any space. Then you should see that plugin here. You can see, just go ahead and click on install. Once you install, you would see a page something like this. Here you just need to copy paste whatever the URL. Okay, here this is the URL, so whatever the URL it shows, you just paste it, and once you click on save setting, you should see all three of this as checked. For me, it's not showing this because yesterday I updated in my Facebook group that I'm facing some kind of trouble. That the reason is because I'm not using this image optimization service on my root domain. Instead, I'm just using a folder, and inside that I'm using this optimization service. This is a primary domain which I use for testing and comparison purposes. So I'm just using this script on this particular folder. Because of that, there was some compatibility issues or something where I contacted the developer and I said these are the problems, and he has to manually done something in order to make this work in my situation. So if you're using just a normal domain, you won't get these kind of problems. And also they said that they will also look into explain or fix this kind of problems if you are planning to use this on particular folder or something like that. That is the reason I got these two as a check X mark. Ideally, once you set up everything, it should say this kind of check mark and it should work. Once you've done that, now you would see a similar dashboard to here where it will show you the credits remaining, used credits, and total available storage, and total storage used, and total files used, and all these things will be shown, and a visual statistic, daily credits. It will also show here total credits, from which domain that credits was used. All these things are shown here. Basically, this is not a SaaS where you do most of the work in the dashboard like other email marketing or SEO. This is basically a SaaS where once you set it up, you are good to go. So you don't need to worry about too much on the dashboard. It gives you all the main thing on dashboard, and settings, it gives you basic stuff on editing, all the additional stuff you can control it. For example, you can change all these things. I'm not much experienced in this, but if you are an experienced guy on this, then you know that these kind of options are available for you. So that is how you set it up in a website. Now let me show you how you can start using the results of using this versus not using this. Here you can see I have set up a dedicated website without any other additional factors involving it. For example, in the theme, I am just using a basic 2019 theme, and I just used one plugin, images. This one was added because since I told you there was a compatibility issue in my case when I tried to install it. Only because of that I had to insert another JavaScript code into my header. That is the only reason I'm using this plugin. So otherwise I have turned off all other plugins. And in this particular home page, I have created a page where I took around 10 different images from Pixabay in a large scale and put all the images in one post. Simply, this post contained just an images for this demo purposes. Now, in order to test it, what I'm going to do is, since I can't use a traditional method like GT metrics in order to compare this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the browser testing component. It will be available with almost all the modern browser, and I will try to leave this demonstration website also live for at least another 10 days or so. So if you want to do any test for yourself, you can do it, of course. And I'm just going to open up another tab also here. Give me a second. Yeah, now I have, sorry, give me a second. Now we have two versions of the website. You can see from here. Sorry about that. Okay, now all you need to do is just right click anywhere on the web page and go into the inspect section. Don't worry if all these are confusing. I'll try to make it easy as possible. Go into the application, and here you go into the service worker section, and you can see this is activated and running the images. What it means is basically that image optimization of the image-based SaaS is currently active on the website. Now I'm just going to stop it. If I click here unregister, stop and unregister, and now if I go into the network and I'll click on images, since I only want to see the images value when it loads. Now you can see all these things are loaded without using any image-based values. If I go over here, you can see it is just loading the default JPG without any image-based resource, using any image-based resources like WebP and G and everything. You can see the load time and everything is noted here. It shows the 4.4 MB resources are used, and they took 4.17 seconds to load the page. And I'm just filtering only the images inside the web page. Now I'm going to do that same exact step. Now I'm going to make sure that in this case it actually has activated the service. You can see it is activated and is running. Now I'm going into the sources network, and I'm making sure that disable is on. I'm just clicking on the image to filter out the image results. Now I'm going to do a refresh. Now we can see the differences. For example, the first difference we see is we are now serving the image is now serving us, instead of the JPG, the web optimized version of the image. And at the same time, you can also see, let me show you. You instead of just seeing the results like image sizes, here what we are saying is this image, this particular resource is served from service worker, which means that image has been optimized and is serving currently from using that kind of image is CDN. And you can see, sorry, the biggest image which we are able to see now is, let's see, the 141. Here the first image with which it was 190 KB and took 1.2 seconds to load. Now it is 141 KB and it took just 479 milliseconds to load. If we take a look at the second example, take a look at the second example, the dog picture. It was 135 KB and took 9 millisecond. And if I take a same look here, it was 85 KBs and 313. So it again reduced it by half. So you can pause this video at this point. You can check it out for yourself. You just pause it. I'm just hovering over each fact so you can compare it yourself for all the other images on what is the difference it does. You can see all these things. Basically, it actually did a pretty good comparison without using anything. For example, you can see that initially the image load was 4.4 MB resource. Now it's just using 3.9 MB resource. So there was 0.06% differences, all these things. And load time also, initially the load time was 3.55 seconds. Now it's 2.76 seconds. I will try to leave this demonstration site without deleting at least for another 10 days. So you can do whatever the test you want, if you want, until you are comfortable with to see whether this is the right or image optimization service for you. I will also leave the link for this site in the video description. So that was the comparison which I did. Now let me quickly go over some of the stuff. First, now let me talk to you about some of the benefits of using this over the ShortPixels and also cons. First, benefits. I haven't used this personally because I'm not that much technical person. That's why I leave this option at the URL for you guys to test it out. But the developer saying that this is the Imghaste is the only platform currently which also optimizes any image CSS images coming from CSS file and AJAX request. So they are saying that Imghaste is the only platform to optimize those services. I'm personally I don't know how to test that thing. That is the frank honesty, because I'm not sure I know how to do the manual image stuff, but they say that they can optimize CSS and as well as AJAX request. And also I found out another thing. Imghaste is fully white label, and also they are much more SEO friendly. It will not. There will be a slight SEO difference. I'm not sure how to put it into the word. Let me show you the real life example. I'm just closing this out, and if I just go into directly, this is my website Aspirate. This site currently uses ShortPixels. If I go over any of these images and I try to copy the image location, and you can see it is what I mean by white label. The ShortPixel is not white label. Is the CDN which the images is showing is using the URL cdn.shortpixel, and that particular image is loaded from there. That is why the ShortPixel image optimization service is not white label, because all the images are shown directly from the ShortPixel CDN. What happens in Imghaste is, rather than using external factor, they will use the CDN from, only in my case there was a compatibility issue, it's showing this. Otherwise what it will show you is cdn.yourdomain. That will be the serving point for you. That is the main reason they say that this is a white label service. So what happens when we go into the Imghaste is, now if I go into any of these web pages and if I do the same right click here, there won't be any visual changes. That's the thing. You can see that it didn't do any external, it does not provide any external front of this image URL. What it does is, rather than using URL rewriting with this image. All of this image is optimization done dynamically. It does not do anything externally. That's what I mean. For example, when we go into the network and when we refresh it, you can see it automatically taking the web PHP and everything from their CDN, and also you can see the image is getting served from there, but the location of the image or the image where it's served, it still remains your own website and your own domain. For example, you can see when I click on here that it remains the same, but if I go over here and take any image, let me go into one of these posts. So rather than showing a thumbnail, I can show you an actual image inside the post. If I take one of these images, let's see, you can see that it automatically appends whatever the path here, but images does not do that. That's what they meant by white labeling. And it also much better to have all the URLs inside your website pointing with your own domain rather than pointing to another additional place, external place from SEO wise. So those are the benefits over ShortPixels. I'm not going to talk about the benefits of using CDN for images because that is pretty self-explanatory. You can check out their website. I'm just going over the important ones. And cons wise, the main cons is this is using something called service worker technology. If I go into the website, I'm just showing you what is service workers. It is a method that enables application to take advantage of persistent background processing, including, you just don't need to worry about this technical stuff. Basically, it's a technology within your browser capability. In order to use this service, it use this particular technology in order to do that. In this case, what happens is globally only there are 93% browser is compatible with this service technology, but there is 7% of browser which is not compatible with this service worker script. And if they, for example, let's say if your client or any person who's visiting your website is coming from that 7% which is not covered here, you can see the red marks shows the unsupported browser. Basically, Internet Explorer is gone, and some of the older version of the other browsers also not supported. So basically, if they coming from that, without that 93%, they are coming from just a 7% which was left out, it will not show this optimized stuff. It will just show them this regular images without any optimization. So that was the one big con. And another one is you can't use let's say, for example, you are designing this web page to your website for your client. In this case, you can't use image speed optimization like GT metrics to show their progress because it will not work. It's a simple and a minute con, but still it's a con because you can't show. But you can use something like what I showed you now to show what the loading time and optimization stuff. Those are the cons which I was able to find it out until now, since this was not a full review. If there is any more, I will definitely let you guys know. And few more things I wanted to cover was, first, I asked some more questions to the developers asking their CDN, which CDNs they are using, and they answered they are using Cloudflare, Cloudfront and BelugaCDN. I'm not sure about the name. I just leave in the video description. You can check it out, and also their own cluster. And I asked about the credit consumption also, how you guys are measuring it, and this is the answer they gave. When you first request an image for optimization, 1 credit will be used, and automatically they will set 1 month as an expiration period by default. Then this CDN will stay on then this image will stay on the CDN cache for 30 days, and it will be served to the visitor from the closest endpoint. And until that only you would consume the bandwidth, the CDN bandwidth. And once the CDN cache expires, Again, if the image was first when it was accessed, another credit will be used. Hope that was clear. And finally, just looking at if I missed out anything, I think I have covered almost everything which I wanted to talk about. Sorry, it wasn't not a big in-depth review as much as I wanted to do, but it was not possible in this case. If you have any question, feel free to come into our group where we all have 1200 members. Everyone talks their mind without any censorship or anything on lifetime deal, digital marketing or anything like that. Or join us on a Telegram group, and if you have any doubts or stuff, questions, just feel free to ask me anywhere. If I can be any sort of help, I will definitely try my best to help you guys. Hope this video was useful, and I hope to see you guys in another great video. Thank you.